Marso Mafia, holy moly. The Death of Faze. Woo! You know what's so crazy? This isn't the first quote unquote death of Faze. I'd say like the first shot from the shotgun was probably in 2019 when like Tfue and all the Fortnite people from Faze started leaving, and then like Faze Sway left. That was the first quote unquote death of Faze, and then Faze fell off of relevancy during like the early 2020s. But now this is the stop the yard shot. This is the boom. This is the finisher. Everybody has left. Everybody. And you know what's so crazy? In my personal opinion, this is all Bank's fault. But we're going to get into why that is, man. Let's get into this. Shout out to Amuzi for this video. I was right about Faze. Let's go.
We had no control. Or it's like we're puppets. At least that's what it felt like. Anything could happen at any moment.
They tried to make that pay 20 bands a month. What the? Making him look like this ego monster. Don't know the truth, bro.
I find you guys all to be incredibly ungrateful. I find you guys all to have insane egos, and I think it's disgusting and makes me sick to my stomach. And I'm here to tell you, as former Faze Banks, this was one of the worst decisions I've ever made in my entire life.
I ain't gonna lie, nah. Hearing him say that, bro, this is one of the worst decisions I've ever made in my life. You sure? You sure it wasn't the coke and ketamine? Those are allegations. I don't even know if he actually does that shit, but really, this was the worst of shit? All right.
The worst decisions you could have made in your life? That is so interesting. While last year seemed to be year of the Faze, this year has not gone so well. It all kind of kicked off with Plaqueboy Max announcing his departure from the group, and ever since then, things have kind of been spiraling. And just yesterday, at least this commentary channel got one of the greatest gifts that could have possibly happened. Pretty much every single creator that was affiliated with Faze put out a tweet saying, "Left Faze Clan."
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. The two people who I've seen the most happiest about this happening is Bruce and Omeezy. Oh my gosh. This nigga is grinning ear to ear.
Talking about Silky, Ron, Jason, Lacey, Adapt.
Him, her, him.
Bro, dog, I knew this shit was serious when Swag left. Fucking Swag. One of the last only gamers in this like new Faze shit. Swag left. I was like, God damn.
Bodies.
Faze lost seemingly most of their current roster, and we've got to talk about it on this momentous day. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Us unemployed got to stick together, and it would be greatly appreciated. Now, back into the celebration. Now, Faze isn't new to doing any sorts of different promotions, so when all of the Faze members came out and said left at Faze Clan simultaneously, it kind of didn't surprise anybody. People thought that it was just another one of their, subathons, marathons being promoted for what's to come. But some of us that follow the Twitter communities saw that, hey, there was a house up for sale. There
was an eviction notice? Hold on.
Some of us that follow the Twitter communities saw that, hey, there was a
eviction notice. After doing some research, it appears that the Faze house has been relisted for rent as of 9 a.m. this morning. Looks as though move-in is available as soon as January 15, 2026 at 75 bands a month. I hope this isn't the end of LA Faze content. It definitely is. I'm not gonna lie to you.
A house up for sale. There were people being seen in different locations. There was a little bit of a breadcrumbing that had happened over the past couple of days that makes this moment in time make so much more sense. And to get the ball rolling even further away from the conversation about this being any sorts of promo, Plaqueboy Max's legitimate cousin, Fatboy Dip, came to the internet and started to spill some tea that was so hot I had to blow it off 50,000 times and still get burned when I drank it.
Gang, you see that little townhouse that Max was in? They tried to make that pay 20 bands a month. What the?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Or give a percentage of myself. What the?
Yo. Hello?
But Max is such a good. He just, yo, bro, I just want to. And now he's like, Max, look crazy, look like egoed out. No, that's not cool though. Like taking on the chin, making him look like this ego monster. Don't know the truth, bro.
Now, up to that point, it was unverified what was going on, but what reason would Plaqueboy Max's cousin have to lie about situations that happened? What was going on, but people forget when Max left, he was seen as like the black sheep in this situation. He was painted out to be the bad guy. He was the villain in all these things. And my ears were percolating.
A lot of people were like, oh, bro, you're leaving FaZe, you're gonna fall the fuck off. Yada, yada. Well, obviously, we see how this shit turned out. God dang.
Because my pot has been stewing. This perpetual stew has been going on for about a year now, but I had to wait. Now, on top of just about every single FaZe member saying that they had left FaZe, the FaZe account themselves also unfollowed every single member.
God damn. Swag, Rug. Some crazy shit happened to Rug. I don't know. We're going to look into that, you know, make a video on it, stuff like that. But some crazy shit happened to Rug. I forgot. FaZe Zoom, FaZe Kate. Damn.
And everybody started pointing their fingers again at FaZe Banks saying, what did he do this time? But he quickly reminded us that, hey, I have nothing to do with FaZe. What's going on right now? I left 4 months ago. It's unfortunate to see what's going on. Everybody the best, blase, blase, blah. You know, getting out in front of it just like any sort of PR person would do. This seemingly triggered Plaqueboy Max though, because what happens next seems to be a total scorched earth moment that wasn't intercepted by anybody. So we are very much inclined to believe that what he says about why he left FaZe and the things that happened between him, some of the management, the senior leadership, and the group as a whole, whew, it's jarring, it's damning.
But we had a sponsor for that day, and niggas didn't end up doing the sponsor. Game night. Yes, if you was there, you was there. Niggas didn't end up doing the sponsor. There was difficulties with the sponsor. Yeah. After that happened, according to the assistants and staff of the creators, because I'm not gonna lie, I just really don't remember. But they said that FaZe has pulled everybody for the rest of the month and sent niggas home early. This is the first time where in my head I went, okay, so how much control do we have here?
Wow.
And how much control do niggas have over
I ain't gonna lie, with these orgs, it's a slippery fucking slope, bruh. And I realized that in like fucking, what, 2017, 2018, back when all these Fortnite teams were popping up, Team BH, fucking Team Optic, this, that, and the third, all this shit. Like when all these fucking teams started popping up, and then we see a year, 2 or 3 down the line, motherfuckers is exposing them, coming out being like, oh, these niggas did me dirty. These motherfuckers scammed me, this, that, and the third. Like, bro, these orgs are a slippery slope, whether you're in FaZe, OTK, all this shit. If you want to become a streamer or, you know, go into these orgs, stuff like that, please just be aware and make sure you have a lawyer look at these fucking contracts they're giving you. I don't need y'all fucking signing contracts just blind because of some bullshit, because that's how stuff like this happens. Yeah, these orgs are a very slippery slope. And the only org that I've seen that is actually done right by their people, damn, you know what's so crazy? I can't even think of one. Damn. Y'all put some down in the comments. I really can't think of any, bro. Man, most of these orgs are shitty.
Yeah.
Shitty business.
It's a very valid question. Plaqueboy Max goes on to allude to the fact that he and the other members of FaZe that signed on to the organization didn't have as much control as he once thought they did. You see, on a live stream about a year ago, I remember one FaZe Banks saying to me specifically that, hey, you know, we just really rock with these guys. We support these guys. We're just behind them. And, you know, we want to get behind their creative endeavors. Very much making it seem as though, you know, he was just fully supportive, no strings attached. But as Max is detailing and outlining here that that is not the case. He goes on to highlight different times in which the organization decided to flex their muscle and their power. One time in particular in which they kicked Lacey out of the group.
Y'all remember when Lacey got kicked from FaZe?
When the fuck did that happen?
He got kicked from FaZe because, according to the assistants and the staff and the cameramen, they said that he had missed a video shoot or something, and we were missing video shoots, and so he actually got kicked from FaZe. Granted, he was allowed back in a couple later because niggas all had combos, but Yes, he got kicked from FaZe.
He then goes on to seemingly verify what his cousin said in his stream about him having to pay a certain percentage of his earnings / pay $20K a month in order to rent out some sort of townhouse in the back. And he also hints that the other members are caught up in some sort of drama or deal, but ultimately he and themselves signed these contracts that had them connected to the FaZe name and the FaZe brand. I think we're seeing a lot of content creators in 2025, specifically from the streaming side, signed to these organizations, signed to these production companies, signed to these management firms that ultimately take control of who they are and what they do, which is completely contradictory to the whole reason why a lot of these content creators hopped into the streaming space in general. Hey, this is
bro. This may be a crazy take. I don't give a fuck. Bro, if you're a streamer or content creator, you do not need to be in a fucking org. You don't need to be on a team. You don't need a fucking creative director. Or I mean, it depends on what you do, but bro, a lot of these people that were in FaZe were desktop streamers, or some streamers that do big shit. Y'all didn't need a fucking team behind y'all. Y'all didn't need a fucking creative director, this, that, and the third. Maybe for some of your bigger streams, yeah, but you could have just hired those people and then it would have been it. Now you got a fucking team org taking 20, 30, 50, sometimes fucking 80% of your earnings, bro. For what?
not traditional media, but I still want to be in the media space. I want to have control over what I do. Now, kind of as a hindsight 2020 and a forewarning for people coming up after them, these people aren't just going to throw bags at you just to throw bags at you. There's going to have to be something attached to it. No matter what a 40-year-old says on a live stream, they're not just going to put you in a mansion, pipe you up, give you all these lit aspirations and fulfill all your creative dreams without anything being attached to it at all. No. That's not how that works. And I do think it was interesting that when I had that sit down that Max kind of wasn't as vocal as, some of the others, but we'll get back to that at a different time. Ultimately, Max felt like he was shafted in a lot of regards by FaZe, blindsided by the organization, not the members. But because he likes to talk so much and not have his name slung through the dirt, it was about time that FaZe Banks spoke out about the situation. And boy, he seemingly turned his back on everybody.
I just watched some clips from this Black Boy Max stream where he's playing a laugh track over my tweet. And it's like, Max, I know we've had like our individual differences, and I know I haven't really seen eye to eye with a lot of the talent because truthfully and honestly, I find you guys all to be incredibly ungrateful. I find you guys all to have insane egos. And I think it's disgusting. And
he's talking about an insane ego. Okay.
Makes me sick to my stomach that your guys' relationships with each other and with every other streamer and your community included is so incredibly fake. You guys are the best actors on planet Earth, and you've made a complete career out of all of it. Max, these are your boys, but these are the same guys that said they fucking hated your guts after you left. And you're the program and you have an ego the size, you think you're Travis Scott and this and that. And also, like, Max, multiple conversations about how Ron's content's cringe and you guys didn't fuck with the dap. None of you guys fucked with Lacey or Jason in the beginning. You guys didn't want these guys to live anywhere near you. You barely wanted to share a brand with them. But FaZe was gonna fund a Miami house for you, Rage, Silky, and Kason. So fuck it.
Wait a minute.
What we can get.
Also, to be fair, I feel like one of the reasons why this whole new FaZe shit kind of failed was because Banks was trying to fucking recreate an AMP without realizing why AMP is so successful, why AMP is so good. These motherfuckers were friends before the group shit even happened. And even when the group was forming a little bit, that was when they added Kai. And then once everybody started to become cool around Kai, that's literally when this shit skyrocketed. The reason why AMP is so successful is because the motherfuckers that's in the group genuinely fuck with each other, genuinely like each other. And when you have all that good, great energy around, successful, straight like that. And this new FaZe shit may have had like glimpses of that, but now that I'm looking back, this shit was destined to fail, man. And besides like Max, Rage, and Silky, who already knew each other and were already kind of cool, they didn't know Jason, they didn't know Lacey, they didn't know Ron, they didn't know any of these people. You shove motherfuckers into a crib, shove motherfuckers into a team where they know nothing about people, and y'all are just trying to make business out of friendship. That shit not gonna go well at all, as we can fucking see.
And then it all worked. And we forced this relationship.
Hold on now. If I recall, that is not what was told to me. Now, I'm gonna stop being petty here because I picked up a lot of audience that doesn't know necessarily the saga. But last year, I made a video speaking about FaZe. And in that video, I outlined a couple of things that struck a nerve between a couple of the members, specifically.
That nigga was right. He's on some Bruce shit. That nigga on some Cardi shit. Nigga posted that shit a year ago. Motherfuckers was probably clowning him in the comments, being like, bro, you're hating on FaZe, but you're not trying to see us win, yada yada. Cut to a year later. Ugh. And we're in the holiday season. Ugh. That's tough.
Stable, Ron, and Lacey. Now, that night, or maybe the next one, I was invited to be on a live stream with Stable Ron so we can go through that conversation and discourse. And I thought that we had a pretty good conversation for what it's worth. We both came in there with some misunderstandings about each other. We came to some conclusions and agreements. And even when Lacey popped in, it was ultimately a productive conversation for what it was worth. I think we all left with better understandings of what was going on, who we were, gained perspective and insight about each other. And I thought that it was a very mature conversation. There was even a couple of times where Ron would tell his community, yo, like, I'm actually trying to like understand here. So, you know, stop getting on his dick about doing stuff, et cetera, et cetera. So kudos to those guys. But the tides turned specifically when FaZe Banks stepped into the conversation and took it totally left. And in that conversation, he said things that kind of contradict what's being said today. Now, from a business perspective, I totally get it, gang. You funded a lot of the projects, and it would seem very ungrateful of these people who you've funded to be, you know, so ungrateful afterwards, not appreciative, whatever the case may be. But that didn't really address what Black Boy Max kind of just said there. And you saying that they threw each other under the bus, they didn't like each other in the beginning, this, that, and the third, albeit a reiteration and maybe an exaggeration of conversations had previously, that's a complete contradiction as to what you said. Plus, if you ask some people that were very close to FaZe during this time, that doesn't match up what's being done in real time. But we'll get into that in 2 seconds.
I don't know, man. I failed miserably. It's not the first L that I'm taking in my life. It's not the first time I've failed. But yeah, I wish that, in a weird way, I do wish that I fucking was closer to the fold the last 4 or 5 months. I don't think that this all would have happened this way.
Is it time to victory lap just yet? No, not yet. We'll save that for later on tonight. Banks goes on for another 12 minutes talking about, you know, how Twitter comms are negative, how these kids only care about their viewers and they'll do anything for them. They'll believe whatever they say, et cetera, et cetera. And in a follow-up to the video that he posted, he put,
as a Twitch streamer, are you not supposed to care about your viewer? Okay.
out a tweet saying these guys had free housing, free filmers and staff, all FaZe channels, 0% income shared. Their money and platforms all skyrocketed after meeting me, but I'm the bad guy. None of it makes sense. And like I said above, I'm going to get into all the details tomorrow. Now, as we wait for that glorious live stream to happen, the only thing that we have to really listen to are people from the FaZe clan that were a part of this situation, and we have people that were close to them. During my research for this video, I found a tweet that Stable Ronaldo liked saying that I cannot believe this is a grown man I'm listening to speak right now. No accountability, victimizing himself and throwing the boys under the bus, saying fake relationships and secretly hating BS.
Yeah, this nigga... For a nigga who's pushing 40, bruh, you are sure acting like a high school kid right now. God damn. You 40 and you still got no accountability, gang? Come on, bro. Come on, man.
And that in-depth shit dead pissed me off. That's from a fan, but like by Stable Ronaldo, I don't know. Another like tweet by Ron stated that being 34 years old and not taking accountability for ruining your business 2 times now is insane. This motherfucker always blaming other people for his failures in life. Heavy statements from ex-members directly, but let's see what adjacent people to these streamers, to these people in FaZe clan have to say. Friend of the show, TK, decided to go live and react to this situation.
Shit.
And what he said about Banks and the whole situation was very telling about how he viewed this whole entire project. It's a big money grab.
Is it really help if you was telling niggas you gotta pay me a percentage of your streams or your revenue to be a part of what we're doing here?
Again,
Mind you, before these niggas joined FaZe, what was FaZe's relevancy? What was FaZe's existence? Who was FaZe?
I ain't gonna lie. Bro, before this whole new FaZe shit, everybody only remembers the old phase, the MLG phase, the 2020, the 2012 to around, I want to say 2017, 2018 phase. That is what people remember. They don't remember the middle period. They don't remember the fucking 2020 to 2021 phase. Bro, Nick, there was a point in time where, nigga, fuck this new version of Phase. Phase was supposed to die in like 2021 when like their stock went super down and motherfuckers was like, oh yeah, nah, this shit dead. It's over with. Period. This nigga Banks has killed this shit 2 times. 2 times, bro. All roads lead back to this nigga right here. Period, bro. If I don't know, man. I feel like if FaZe maybe had their old leadership, this shit wouldn't have happened. But also, if FaZe had their old leadership, maybe this new phase and the slight revamp of FaZe that happened in 2018, 2019 wouldn't have happened either. I don't know.
I'm not mad because he did a business move the wrong way. I'm mad because this nigga sitting here talking about it like, oh, I did so much for these niggas and all I did was love these niggas and all I'm asking for them is to sign a 360. Sign your soul away to me, little monkey. You little streamer dancer. Like, so what, you little idiot? Like, god damn. I gave you so much. I loved y'all so much like brothers. We built this shit from the ground, gang. And I let y'all get into it. So just sign your soul away. How fucking dare you be so ungrateful that you don't sign your fucking soul to me? Nigga, what are we fucking talking about, bro?
Hey, yo. Scum TK, a streamer and friend of Your Rage, a current FaZe member, he hasn't tweeted out that he's left FaZe, went on live and refuted and debunked and stated that what Banks was saying was untrue in a lot of the regards, in a lot of the situations. There's one instance where FaZe Banks says that he's never made any money from FaZe. And Scum TK, again, somebody very close to this situation, completely refutes that allegation and says that it's totally false.
I have never made not one singular dollar outside of my...
You didn't just sell your stake in FaZe? I don't care. I'm tripping. I'm leaking. I'm sorry. You didn't just sell your stake in FaZe?
Oh wow.
Niggas can't do shit to me. Black Sharks pull up. I got a
digging in him, TK.
We can keep doing this. You didn't just
Wait,
come up
so who
real
has
bright
left
off
FaZe
this
so
shit.
far?
Even Aiden Ross, somebody very close to FaZe Banks and the corporate side of streaming, who was behind the scenes, went ahead and did his attempt at scorching the earth by outing the fact that not only did he help FaZe financially, but revealing the truth behind what happened between the real owners and the content side of things.
They're using FaZe's foundation, their money to buy stuff for shoots, brand deals, like FaZe has been doing, right? It's a corporate business. So they never signed that 20% initially. They come after them a year and a half later and then ask for the 20%. That is where I think that's in the wrong.
That's wrong.
Because listen, if your intention was to sign these guys for 20% to join FaZe, they probably would have all done it.
Yep.
But now you waited till they're big and they already have millions of followers and dollars. So why would they sign a contract? You can't put a deal in their fucking face at this point. Do you understand? I understand both sides here. They wouldn't have done it. Well, then, Lico, then you could argue that they wouldn't be as big as they are. Or you can argue that, there's many arguments to make. I think they would have done it. Maybe not all of them.
All in all, this is messy because unlike we were told in the beginning, this seems to be way more business as opposed to real, genuine friendships, handling things the right way, the proper way. It seems very shady and underhanded. Now, I know over the next couple of days, we are going to hear, the different sides and people are going to have to speak about this. But this is very interesting, especially because last year, people who kind of called this stuff out were killed over some of their criticisms and takes. So now I'm putting a call to action. 2 things. 1, I will be live tonight going over what FaZe Banks is going to be saying in his stream where he announces everything. I'm pretty sure others will be speaking out about it by that time, so that'll give us a lot to react to. I really want to stay glued to this because I am kind of ready to skip around the room. Skip around the room. Skip around the room. But 2, and most importantly, make sure you get this to them. Ron, Lacey, I'm extending you guys an invitation just like you extended me an invitation to talk about these things. Hell, I'll do it for Max. I'll do it for Silky. I'll do it for Jason. I'll do it for whoever. Adapt as well. Especially because it's really messed up hearing that he's also leaving this organization knowing what this organization meant to him. But to you two guys.
Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie, all of the things that Adapt has fucking done for FaZe. God damn. Shout out Omizi for this video. It's end card time. Let's talk about the real reason why this FaZe shit died. Let's go. The reason why this FaZe shit died, or had plans of dying, was going to die in the first place, is because this shit went corporate. It's because this shit went super business. As soon as motherfuckers started relinquishing ownership, as soon as FaZe became something to invest in, like a stock or something, as soon as there was a hyper capitalistic aspect to this group that was literally just started off of gaming and having fun with your friends, that was when this shit died. Period. And adding Banks onto your team, someone who has been hyper capitalistic since birth, was just gonna bring this shit down even more. So yeah, I feel like that's the so you can argue that's the main reason for the downfall of certain things in the world, bro. It's because of fucking hyper capitalism. Motherfuckers just trying to make a buck here and there wherever they can, bro, and in the process it fucking ruined something that people put love, time, and passion into. Something that people campaigned for. There was a time, and I know some of my fucking early Gen Zers know about this, bro. There was a time where everybody wanted to be in FaZe. Every fucking buddy, down to the fucking senior in high school, middle schoolers, elementary school, bro. Everybody in my school at one point wanted to fucking get Call of Duty, not because they fought, because they fought with the game, but also because they were trying to learn trick shots so that they can get in FaZe, bro. All for this shit to just come down, man. And as much as like we laughing about it, I'm seeing Bruce laugh like shit about it, I'm seeing Omizi get hype about it too. It kind of sucks knowing that this is the nail in the coffin. When FaZe originally got that first buckshot back in 2019, when all that stuff was coming out about them scamming Tfue, and then FaZe Sway left, and then all these other people left, and then Rain left, all this stuff. That was a death, but a death that somebody could have, resuscitated FaZe out of. This, there is no coming back from this. This is the death shot. This is the shot of all shots. The FaZe as you know it is dead. There's no future for this shit. How badly this shit went. The fact that a good 80 to 85% of the FaZe roster dipped. Shit crazy, bro. And I feel like if they maybe just had Banks as a member and not as someone, calling the shots, this shit would have went completely different. I probably wouldn't have even been here making this video right now. Man. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. We gonna keep up with this whole FaZe news drama stuff. This video actually came out like a couple days ago, but I was like kind of a little sick, so I couldn't get to it in time, but we get into it now. Love y'all. Marso Mafia the gang. Marso Mob the squad. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. Peace.